Good day, everyone. My name is Tammy, and I'm joined with Chidima and Blessing. Our topic for today is making fast strategic decisions in high velocity environments. We're going to explore a critical aspect of strategic decision making, the intricate relationship between conflict, decision speed, and conflict resolution. And we would also be understanding how these dynamics significantly impact decision making processes within organizations and teams. This article is centered around two research questions. How are fast strategic decisions made, and how does decision speed link to performance? Now to the findings. The findings challenge traditional views of strategic decision making. It states that fast decision makers are found to utilize more information and generate more alternatives compared to slow decision makers. Contrary to existing literature, centralized decision making isn't necessarily faster. Instead, a layered advice process emphasizes input from experienced counselors is effective. Conflict resolution is crucial for a decision speed, but conflict itself isn't the primary factor. Integration among strategic decisions and tactical plans accelerate decision making, aiding decision makers in handling high stake choices. Fast making enables individuals to adapt to change and is associated with strong performance. The article also discusses emotional, political, and cognitive processes linked to rapid decision closure, with empirical evidence supporting these concepts. The study employed a multiple case design with a replication logic, treating each case as an experiment to confirm or refute findings from others. It focused on 8 microcomputer firms. An embedded design was also used, examining each firms at 3 levels: top management team, strategic decisions, and firm performance. Data collection involved interviews with all top management team members, including CEOs and their subordinates. 4 data sources were used: CEO interviews, semi-structured interviews with top managers, questionnaires completed by team members, and secondary sources. CEO interviews initiated the process, asking about competitive strategy, distinctive competencies, competitors, and major decisions. Criteria for selecting decisions for in-depth study included strategic importance, high stakes, involvement of various functions, and representativeness of the decision-making process. Subsequent interviews with top managers delved into their perspective, functional strategies, interactions, and routine decision-making meetings. The second part focused on tracing the story of specific strategic decisions, gathering insights from each team member using standardized questions, emphasizing facts and events. Interviews were conducted by 2 investigators, with one responsible for the interview and the other for note-taking. A 24-hour rule ensured timely documents, including all data regardless of initial importance, ending with ongoing impressions of each company. Quantitative data came from questionnaires focusing on variables like conflict and power. Secondary sources such as industry reports and internal documents were examined. Informal observations, data on office locations, team demographics, and financial performance were collected. Additionally, observations of strategy making sessions and executive staff meetings were also conducted. Fast decision makers relied heavily on real-time information, which is basically data of a company's operation or environment with minimal time delay between occurrence and reporting. This led us to our proposition 1. The greater use of real-time information, the greater the speed of strategic decision processes. The study examined various firms and found a significant variation in decision-making speed. Some firms like Zap, Forefront, Promise, and Triumph made decisions in less than 4 months, while other firms like Omicron, Neutron, Alpha, Presidential took over 6 months, often more than a year, to make a decision. Fast decision makers preferred operational indicators over complex financial data and held frequent operational meetings. They prioritize real-time communication such as face-to-face discussions and electronic mail. For instance, ZAP's executives closely monitor daily and weekly performance indicators, and their decisions to form a strategic alliance was triggered by a cash projection model. Triumph also emphasized real time information, holding weekly staff meetings and roundtable forums for feedback. In contrast, firms with slower decision making processes showed less interest in real time information. They were more inclined towards planning information and often spent time pondering decisions. The use of real time information accelerated decision making for several reasons. It allowed for quicker issue identification, enabling executives to spot problems and opportunities sooner. The process of making strategic decisions is often considered comprehensive when it involves the exhaustive generation and evaluation of alternatives. However, studies shows that consideration of multiple alternatives can potentially slow down the strategic decision-making process. This brings us to our proposition 2. The greater the number of alternatives considered simultaneously, the greater the speed of the strategic decision process. Why considering more alternatives speed decision making? Several factors contribute to the idea that simultaneous consideration of multiple alternatives accelerates decision making. Enhanced assessment. Comparing alternatives side by side helps decision makers evaluate their strengths and weakness more effectively. This process builds confidence that the best alternatives have explored. Pursuing multiple options lowers psychological commitment to any single alternative. Decision makers can quickly switch between alternatives if negative information arises. Simultaneous alternatives provide safety nets. If one option fails, decision makers can swiftly shift to another. Faster team consider several alternatives but analyze them quickly. This breadth over depth approach is efficient under time pressure and ensuring rapid decision making. The core idea behind Proposition 3 is that inclusion of experienced counselors within an organization accelerates the pace of strategic decision making. These counselors are described as individuals with substantial industry experience, often older and well known to the CEO. They play a vital role as trusted advisors. Organizations that make strategic decisions swiftly tend to rely on experienced counselors. For instance, companies like Zap, Forefront, and Triumph, which are fast strategic making companies, have CEOs who have active consult with older, more experienced executives for guidance. These counselors are typically individuals known to the CEO and often have extensive industry experience.
Thank you, Temi, for that. My name is Blessing, and I'll be discussing about speed, conflict, and resolutions. This passage discusses the relationship between conflict, decision speed, and conflict resolution in the context of strategic decision making. The focus is the relationship between conflict resolution and the speed of strategic decision making processes within teams and organizations, which brings the proposition 4. The greater the use of active conflict resolution, the greater the speed of strategic decision process. Research mentions that conflict can impact the length of the decision making process. Some authors have argued that conflict tends to slow down decision making as it introduces interruptions in the process. The data presented in the passage suggests that while conflict itself might not consistently affect decision speed, conflict resolution is crucial. Teams that actively address and resolve conflicts tend to make decisions faster. Speed, fragment, and decision integration. This discusses a critical difference between teams that make fast strategic decisions and those that make slow decisions regarding the integration of these decisions with each other and with tactical plans. This introduces Proposition 5, which suggests that The greater the integration among decisions, the greater the speed of the strategic decision process. Integration involves considering how various decisions relate to each other and how they align with tactical's plan. Decision integration is assessed using qualitative evidence, examining teams' usual approaches to integration and specific stories related to decisions. This assessment includes analyzing how decisions are linked to past and current strategic decisions and tactical plans, such as budgets and engineering schedules. Teams making fast decisions tend to more fully integrate their decisions with other major decisions and tactical plans. For example, they develop plans to manage worst case scenarios associated with their choices, which contribute to a more comprehensive approach. An illustrative an illustrative example will be Triumph. An example from Triumph demonstrates how fast teams integrate decisions. They coordinate a new strategic direction with a new product, which schedule product releases and rebudgeted the firm within 6 weeks, showing an ability to align multiple decisions and plans. Overall, this perspective emphasizes the importance of decision integration for speeding up the strategic decision-making process and highlights how many teams approach integration, leading to varying decision-making speed. How strategic decision speed link to performance? This is the second research question. It explores the relationship between the speed of strategic decision making and its impact on firm performance. This introduces proposition 6, which suggests that greater decision making speed in high velocity environments is associated with better performance. Performance are examined both at the firm level and at the individual decision level. Firm performance are assessed using multiple methods, including CEO's self-reported ratings of companies' effectiveness, comparison of these ratings to competitors, and data on sales growth and profitability before and after can be also used. An illustrative example would be Zap. Zap experienced spectacular performance with sales growth ranging from 25% to 100% per quarter. Executives considered their alliance decision successful and executed similar decisions. Overall, it can be said that this perspective supports the idea that in fast-paced environments, faster decision making is associated with better firm performance. It also suggests that slow decision making can lead to missed opportunities and hinder a firm's ability to adapt and compete effectively. A model of the speed of strategic decision making. This discusses the findings of research on the speed of strategic decision making in high velocity environments and presents a model of the factors that mediate decision speed. High velocity environments pose challenges due to poor information, costly mistakes, and limited opportunities for recovery from errors. But nevertheless, the research suggests that Fast decision making is associated with better performance in high velocity environments. Examples of successful firms that have made fast decisions are provided, while slow decision making is linked to poor performance. The findings also challenge previous views that associated fast decision making with centralization, less comprehensiveness, and less conflict. Instead, the results suggest that fast decision makers aim for efficiency in their use of time, are comprehensive in some aspects, and focus on conflict resolution rather than being hindered by conflict. The centralization view, which suggests that autocratic decision making is faster, is questioned as autocrats can also be bogged down by inadequate information, excessive workloads, and anxiety. Overall, the model highlights the cognitive, group process, and emotional factors that influence the speed of strategic decision making in high velocity environments. It suggests that successful decision makers combine participation and decisiveness, efficiently use their time, and build confidence to achieve rapid closure on major decisions.
Okay, thank you so much, Timmy. Thank you, Blessing. So the example company that aligns with the finding in this article is the Apple industry. As we all know, the Apple industry is an American company, and here in Canada, it's a multinational organization which is known for its rapid innovation and product launches in the microcomputer industry. This Apple company exemplifies in the importance of fast decision-making company, and it has been leading the way in innovating new products since the 1970s. The company is known for its ability to gather extensive information, develop a wide range of product alternatives, and also employ a structured decision-making process which involves input from experienced advisors. Additionally, Apple's seamless integration of strategic decision, which helps in tactical plans, along with effective conflict resolute, which contributes to its continued success in the fast-paced technological market. And there's an improved mission statement of the Apple industry, which is the strategical enhancement of the customer experience by including Apple Pay on all iPhone devices, thereby allowing customers to easily and securely conduct payment solutions. There is a decision-centric approach made by Apple, which helps them in getting their business objectives. And this decision-centric approach has an end-to-end decision automation, which revolves around the business rules, the business processes, the machine learning, data and analytics, the decision robotics, and also the business decisions. This end-to-end, this listed end-to-end decision automation is passed through a decision-centric approach by Apple to bring about their business objectives, which are to improve revenue, to achieve their mission statement, to reduce cost, and also mitigation of risks. In line with their business objective, here the risk mitigation is a quick response to disruption in the market, which can help Apple navigate uncertainties more effectively, reducing negative impact on performance. And this is as a result of competitive advantage, which is quick decision to help Apple establish and maintain a competitive edge, thereby allowing it to lead and dominate in product categories. There's also an iterative prototyping by Apple, which creates and conducts rigorous testing to its prototypes, to refine and improve design quickly. And for information gathering, Apple invests heavily on the research and development, the R&D, which stays at the forefront of technological trend. There is a supply chain efficiency for Apple, which helps include decision in supply chain management, which are crucial for ensuring that products reach Canadian customers in timely manner, and this can reduce lead times to improve efficiency. Talking about the efficiency of Apple, here there is a strategic implementation um, of Apple, and this strategy comprises of customer strategy, financial strategy, business processes strategy, and ethical environment strategy. And this is also evolves around a balanced scorecard of Apple, and which comprises of the SWOT analysis of Apple in Canada, which are the strengths of Canada, and entails the internal and external attributes of Apple. And here the strengths of Apple are the strong cash base, the effective global distribution network, the good cash flow, the intellectual capital, the high product differentiation and loyalty, and their charismatic leadership. Apple has its weakness, which focuses on a higher arena presence, higher business arena presence, its profitability, which is dependent on economy, the proprietary operating system, also its lower profit margin, lacking a succession planning. Yes, there are external factors affecting Apple, which are the opportunities in SWOT analysis, and we stand as a strong growth in smartphone and tablet markets, robust outlook for mobile advertising, for global expansion, digital business strategy, and also strengthen broad brand and expand strategic alliance. There's a threat faced by Apple, which is the competition. Competition in the telecommunication industry is intense, like the Google, like the Microsoft, like the Nokia, like the Bell, like the Samsung. There's also a rising popularity of Google Android, and there's also a dependence on specific suppliers, leading to an uncertain global economic condition with volatile customers. Here, in the strategic implementation of Apple, there's also the product technologicality. And here the product technologicality list are the research and development, the R&D, the innovation, also the distribution, which has strong network of wholesale distributors. There's also skill and capability, which have been employing talented expertise in product designs. There is marketing, which is the brand recognition and loyalty of Apple in Canada, and there is manufacturing, which is as a result of low cost production and or high labor productivity, capability to meet customization specification. In conclusion, Apple has Apple has a strategic management analysis in order to meet up with a fast making strategic decision in high velocity environment. Apple has a strategic management analysis which is focused on technological industries, not easy to compete with because of its competitors, which are itemized as earlier, which are the Samsung, Google, Bell, and so on. Here is also noted that their focus on R&D had a lot invested on it and also had proactive competitors in the industry. Here, there should be it is recommended from our end that there should be a focus on customer support and also an increased area in their supporting customers. Apple having its having its technicality in its mission statement, which relies more on customer expertise. It is said to include the Apple Pay on its devices, and this has securely conducted its payment solution over the years, leading its way into the innovation of new products. Thank you.